Right then, guys, welcome to the Real Pod. Big man clap. Right, guys, welcome to our final episode, our outro of the Real Pod, with myself, Naj, and
Naki.
so we thought we'd do a little outro. It's been an interesting journey.
Yeah, it has. We learned a lot.
Learned a lot, definitely. I was just gonna say we learned a
Changed
lot.
our lives.
Some interesting stories.
Yeah.
I enjoyed. To be fair, in their own way, I enjoyed all of them. If we were to break
Yeah,
them
they were
down
all unique in their own way.
in their own way, yeah, and their own stories. I mean, if we did them in order, Mark,
Yeah.
local businessman, entrepreneur, well-renowned, respected PT in Stoke. Obviously, Coliseum Gym.
Yeah.
He's again how he started
Yeah,
as
his
an
background.
MC. And MC talks.
MC talks.
And and look where
And
he
he
is.
never
And,
planned it. Like he never knew he was going to.
yeah, he was never necessarily into fitness per se. He was going to do that. Like he said, he started because his brother was always in shape, and then they went on holiday or something, and it kind of started from there. And yeah, so many years later, got his own business and works still at the local college as well with the with young adults, doesn't he? So yeah, that was interesting, Marks, and then.
It gave us a good lift off, didn't it, as well?
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, not going to lie, Mark's a friend of ours as well, so it was that little bit easier, obviously. But yeah, no. Then who was it? After that was Chris, wasn't it?
Chris, yeah, we had
Chris Paines, the villain.
My coach, yeah, the villain.
The villain.
Interesting character.
He's due actually to go past Amsterdam with yourself, isn't he?
Yeah, we're going in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, yeah. Because I've seen them release some videos when you guys went last time, and they filmed with you and so on.
They're doing a lot of marketing. Hopefully, they can.
You're linked with BJJ Fanatics as well, isn't he? You guys filmed there.
Yes, we did
Don't
film
you?
Fanatics.
Right, tutorial videos, I think, are they?
Yes. Second one now. So we'll see.
Nice.
I think it should be coming out soon. We haven't had a date yet. They reckon, they usually say 6 to 8 weeks, and it's been about 4 weeks, I think. 4, 5
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll probably hear something from them soon.
And then you're filming again this time when you go as well, possibly, or not yet?
No,
Don't know.
this is more of a they got like loads of instructors there who are just going to teach their style or teach what they want to teach. And it's more like a camp.
Seminar.
Like a seminar, a camp full of seminars, basically.
Yeah.
You've got some really high level guys who I'm looking forward to rolling with.
But again, yeah, same with Chris. Well renowned, well respected, black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's a coach.
Yeah. Chris is always getting invited to
internationally known, isn't he?
Yeah. He's always getting invited to these seminars
and he's travelled a fair few places as well. Like he explained that day, from Estonia to America to Amsterdam, and so many other places he mentioned that day when he was somewhere in a, what was he, like a campsite and having a barbecue with some guys. Remember?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Chris was interesting, especially the police one. I like that story in its own way. It's not a good story, but in its own way, and what he took away from that, and then I think that led him onto this. Path, didn't it, really?
To learn how to protect himself, self-defense.
And then becoming one of the most dangerous guys in Staffordshire, probably,
Beats
amongst others.
Beats you up whilst he's laughing.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I know. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, it used to happen. It's different nowadays.
Yeah. No, but he's, again, Chris, a lovely guy, really nice story. Funny guy as well, though, entertaining.
I've met a lot of people who've met him. He's one of them characters that either you really like him or you don't, because he's not your everyday guy. He's got his own way of doing things. He's got his own way of talking and the way he puts things forward.
Yeah.
And, he's not. He just does what he wants.
No, I found him to be very, in his own way, as much as he's the villain, but he's a very humble person.
Yeah. Humble.
And I tell you what would be a good podcast. Him and Matt Wiggins together.
Oh, that would be crazy.
That would be one awesome,
there's
entertaining.
Some crazy stories of us together.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Them two. But yeah, no, Chris, I enjoyed Chris's stories all, and generally we don't know the full backgrounds of these people. Some of them they were genuine guests, we called them. Some people, we knew through people, but we don't know their story. We know their present, what they do.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Chris in this case. Yeah, I know him just as a BJJ black belt instructor, but never knew his story fully. But
his story, really, really hard how he had to come through. Like, he tells me sometimes how they used to sit in a session and he'd wait for somebody to come and train, and he'd wait there hour and a half. Nobody comes, and then he just goes home. You know, like
Wow.
going from
That
empty
must have been
rooms where-
deflating.
yeah, 100%. Most people would give up, but now he's got regularly double figures on the mats. He's got 2 black belts under him, so it's
And
like
constantly being invited abroad with yourself
yeah.
to do seminars and teach. So that comes with recognition. They
Yeah.
don't just invite
So-
you.
in the 12 or 13 years he's been doing this, like it's amazing. I think. Like, it's a
Yeah,
wicked
now where
story.
he is at that stage, it's definitely paid off.
Wicked
100%. Yeah. And yeah, so his, again, in his own way, unique, different. Enjoyed his story. And then I think it was the most controversial one for us.
The one that caused some tremors in Stoke
Some
on
tremors in Stoke on Trent. So our sister Hasiba, hometown hero, she was England's first hijabi coach,
yes,
level 2, I believe. She was also a baton torch? Torchbearer, relay bearer, yes. So she was part of that. She got picked. There was only 14 in the UK, hometown heroes. Yeah, something along them lines. So the whole UK, she was one of the 14, if that makes sense. So like, yeah, she's achieved a lot, and at a very young age as well, where she is now. For me, it was all positive.
Yeah,
know,
same. We had a right laugh.
Teaching, yeah, we did, didn't we?
We had a
We
right
always
laugh.
we kept going off the mountain.
Because-
Cuts that happened in that podcast because we kept going off topic and bantering.
We had Mark, who's a friend. We were comfortable with him. Chris was a friend who we
Yeah,
were
but I don't know
comfortable
Chris
with.
though.
Yeah,
At
you
first time
didn't.
I met him that day, to be fair.
But for me, it still wasn't like, it's just going to be a conversation. But obviously, Hasiba, first time meeting
Down
her,
to
speaking
it,
to her.
humble.
And I was
Yeah,
like, how's this going to go? But we had a right laugh.
yeah,
It turned
yeah.
out to be a
And,
wicked episode.
yeah, and again, what she's done, she's not even 30 yet, and what she's achieved.
Yeah.
You gotta, irrelevant of whether you agree or disagree, but you gotta look at somebody's achievements in the past, and that's where you gotta sort of assess them on. And if you look at that, she's not hit 30, and look at the boxes she's ticked.
Yeah.
Some people, well, a lot of people will never hit that score in their life.
It's crazy how like the feedback that we had after that.
Yeah, but no, there was a lot of positive. It was
Mostly
outweighed the negative, but
Yeah.
no, it was all positive.
Way-
but
way-
it was controversial. We understand that, we see that, but again, our aim wasn't to cause controversy.
no.
We called Hasiba for what she does, and
Yeah.
and the amount of stuff she's done in her local gym, the people she works with. They've had Amir Khan down. They had the boxing banquet. We couldn't go that day because we were doing a podcast with Joe.
Yes, we were, yeah. With Big Joe.
With Big Joe that day. But yeah, what they and her brothers as well, the whole the family in a sense, what they've achieved for Windmill Amateur Boxing Club is amazing. And the fact that their former coach, if you like, handed it down to her brothers rather than his nephew
Yeah.
who trained there. I think that
Big thing,
speaks
that
for
is.
itself.
Yeah,
And then they've not let that guy down. They've carried the legacy on, but only made it stronger and better.
Yeah.
To where they'd have normal shows now. They're having dinner shows, and the more people are taking interest in the club. Obviously, with Hasiba being involved in it gives it more of a lift. So it's all positive. And her story again, I'm just amazed at the fact that she's done all this and she's not even 30.
Yeah,
I find that
follow their boxing page
amazing.
now, the Windmill boxing page, and
Yeah.
when they, when she's doing her classes and stuff, they are rammed. Like they're not.
Yeah, I've
quiet.
seen them on Insta.
And
Yeah.
surely they must, the standard must be really high, so they're doing something right. So yeah, that.
No, they are well known and well respected, in if you like, if in their trade, in their area, and the brothers
And
are
I didn't
all
realize
well known guys.
That event that they had gyms from Stoke that went
Yeah, you will
and
do. Yeah,
participated. I was like, interesting. So they've had some fighters on there.
yeah. Been good to know who went. It was a shame we couldn't go that day.
I only know someone from One Bomb Boxing fought on there because they shared a picture on their Facebook, and on the banner I saw our logo. So I was like, oh yeah, so these guys must have gone to there. And
Yes.
fought.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. See, that was a nice feeling, I bet.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so Hasiba's, again, it was a brilliant story. And then, the slight bit of controversy that given she's female, she's Muslim, she was still given all them opportunities, though. She was supported to do.
Yeah.
And you know what? She she's done
She
well,
broke
man.
barriers,
She
you
broke
know.
barriers,
There's
broke
too many
stereotypes.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, again, another amazing story. And not just hers, her linked of her brothers and her father and her family promoting her
Yes.
to do this.
Yeah.
That's even
Supporting
more,
her a
yeah,
lot.
supporting her. So yeah, again, another beautiful story, to be fair, I think, you know.
Agreed.
Um,
Number 4.
Number 4. Yeah, the dangerous man amongst others, but a very dangerous man again. The one, the only Mr. Ranj.
Mr. Ranjit Singh.
Mr. Ranjit Singh
From
from Wolverhampton Wrestling Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to get on the bad side of him.
No.
Do you know what? Lovely person, humble, proper gentleman. You know, and he is the type of guy who'll give you this shirt off his back. Yeah, no questions. But I wouldn't like to see the wrong side. There's just something about him. He's too calm for me.
Yeah.
He's just too laid back and calm for me. Yeah, and I'm like,
I've seen him angry once, and he is one of them people who he doesn't lash out, but when he's angry, you can tell he's angry.
yeah, no, like
You
when
know
he
what I
come in, he's sat and mashallah, giant of a man anyway. Yeah, you know what I mean? And yeah, he was just too calm for me. So to me, that's like, you know what? He's a dangerous guy.
With someone like Ranj, you got to understand, like, he's trained elite level fighters.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Like you said, they're going
like
Bellator,
current
Pride,
UFC champion
UFC.
at the moment. You know what I mean? Like current one.
We can't say names who he's trained. He wouldn't give them away.
Yeah, and it's like he has to have a certain demeanor to deal with these egos and personalities.
Yeah,
no,
of
I'm not
course.
saying that these guys have, but everybody's got different personalities, and he's trained most of people who have come out of Birmingham.
Yeah.
Who've gone on to any sort of level around even West Midlands. And I used to travel from Stoke to go and train there to learn wrestling.
But you have on the same amount people coming from as far as Glasgow and London to come train with you though as well, don't they? So
yeah, but we have a similar demeanor in that sense then.
But yeah, no, he's again, you know, like humblest guy I'd probably see and nice guy. And but do you know, he's just, when I look at him, I'm like, he's dangerous.
You don't want him demoing.
Yeah, you don't want to upset him.
If he demos a move on you, like it, even when he's being nice, he's
Yeah.
not nice.
So, but and then besides like obviously, you know, that aside on the season, like what he's achieved again, what he's done, how long? I think it's 50 years this year. The the wrestling club's been going.
Yeah.
50 years this year. He's set up alongside that Kabaddi team.
Yes.
UK Kabaddi
And
team.
that's currently ongoing.
He's
that one.
more or less kind of been the, I think, if I'm honest to say, instrumental in the background and bringing it to the UK as a national sport.
Yeah.
As in a recognised national sport. And he's been a big role. I'm sure they have Kabaddi competitions at your local gyms or whatever within the communities, but on a national level, he's kind of making it like he's carving it for the future that it needs to be a sport, a recognised sport where it happens in the UK. So he's then set up a Kabaddi team, and that's going strong, I believe. And like you said, they only had 1 hour of training before their first actual fight. Yeah, I was going to say fight, sorry, before their first match. And then they won.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I don't think they won all of it. They won that match. But I reckon this year they'll do well.
But they did well, I think, running up as well.
Yeah,
They're like second or third. They weren't like 10th or something silly. So for what they did, and now they've actually put the training in, and he's having centres built. Obviously, he's been recognised within the community, within the government ministers, MPs, councillors, all the way to the government. He's been recognised for this, and he's been supported and recognised and commended for this. And again, we've got to mention he's a hometown hero. He's a hometown hero. More than anything, does loads with charity, local people of all backgrounds, ethnicities, races, religions, colours.
They do so much for their local community. I haven't seen the connection he's got with the council. I haven't seen anywhere yet.
And they'd only be funding him, let's be honest, and giving him these things as long as he's putting them out there.
Yeah.
And if he wasn't, and he was mistreating it or whatever it was, he wouldn't have kept this legacy going. He's made a legacy of his own.
Yeah, legacy. The waves they've made over the years, just with the help of the council and them working together.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Like I said, I haven't seen it anywhere yet. It's impossible to get in Stoke, I think. But
what's beautiful is that his dad passed this on to him 50 years ago.
Yes.
So that in itself of not just Ranj's legacy, and he has got his own, he's carved his own path, but that bloodline and that legacy and that lineage, shall we say, has carried on.
100%.
Which I just find that amazing, to be fair. And I think that's beautiful in its own way.
Yeah, great story.
The fact that he's still in the same bloodline,
yeah,
and he's carried on this year. It's 50 years they've been going,
and it don't look like they're going.
And they're only going stronger and stronger.
Yeah,
I mean, two like more centers built outside. One for kabaddi, obviously one more for wrestling with better facilities, training things. Again, he's continuously doing things with the charity. They have open daylight meals for people within the
Yes.
community. Over COVID, he practically spent on the streets and helping people non-stop. It's all out there in the media.
Yeah.
This is, you can find it. He doesn't promote this himself.
No.
This
He
what
even hides sometimes.
he
in
hides that
pictures and
stuff. He doesn't say anything, but you can find things online, and he was practically on the streets during
I
COVID.
can remember he was saying like, I'm not into this stuff, but it got so much that I eventually thought, you know what, I have to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the new marketing way of doing things. And
When I said to him, because he told us off mic, obviously, like people have offered him to go away
Yeah,
to
yeah.
train at their camps. So when I gave him the example of, and I'm not saying Khabib offered him, but I'm just saying the point was that if Khabib had offered him to go abroad and train in Dagestan and train him or train Islam or whoever, these opportunities, and he just kind of, obviously I knew I wanted him to get recognized for it, but he didn't want to bring it up. He's like, yeah, I'll train people. And then I was like, would you go away? He's like, no. And you knew he was being serious. He's like, no, I wouldn't.
He is. He's very
I
serious.
wouldn't go.
very
I'm happy where I am.
He had a
I do what I do.
massive offer from
Yeah.
a certain country. And when he told me, I was like, Ranj, why not? He's like, look,
He's
I've
happy
got home
helping
here.
people. Is a home. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
my home, and I want to help these
Yeah.
people. It's not about the money to go away,
No.
and I could do it, but I'm happy here, and you know what? That's
Big thing.
nice, man. It's a big thing. Like, who would give up their opportunity or dreams to progress and think, right, no, I'm happy where I am. I want to progress these people
Yeah.
or my community. So again, you know what? I'm just happy to meet somebody like that.
Yeah,
You don't meet many nowadays, unfortunately, who've got that kind of mindset.
It's hard.
Yeah, and yeah, it was. And I still come back to very dangerous guy. But yeah, no, that was another. I enjoyed his podcast as well. It was another
Yeah.
one that again different, and yeah, enjoyed that one as well with Ranj.
So we've had all kind of sports
So
people.
we had gym owner, entrepreneur, we had a black belt, BJJ black belt
Yeah.
coach, obviously boxing coach, Asibe, and then you got Ranj wrestling.
And now we've got Brad.
Brad, main man Brad. Yeah, you know what? I couldn't believe about his when he said, because I never knew this about him. The fact that, we were in Subway with him and his friend, was it?
Yeah.
And we did it for a joke. I went on Gordon Ramsay's website
and applied.
and guess what? He got the job.
Yeah.
Both of them. Well, technically he got it because he said to him come back the following year because he was 17.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all over a joke, and then the next thing you know, they're working under Gordon Ramsay,
Yeah.
under his guidance, like at the age of 18. Wow. Packed
It's-
his bags, moved to
That's
London.
another wicked story. Like,
And he's worked hard though.
yeah. Like he was saying.
Yeah, 14,
know-
16 hours a day, 18 hours a day.
Yeah.
He's, no doubt, he's put the work in, he's put the graft in.
Yes.
And then to progress, he went to Ibiza, didn't he?
Yeah.
For training.
Yeah.
Um,
And he was working as well, wasn't he?
working
On the
and,
side.
and training. So again, to progress himself, to grow, he went abroad, expanded his skills, made another network, client base, because he's got clients in Ibiza.
Yeah.
Come back, and then I think he was head of it was the Pex
Yeah. Or some,
Pex group, yeah.
Yeah.
So he was a head chef, and then he went on, opened one restaurant in Congleton,
Yeah.
and then finished that, and then moved on to open two more very successful restaurants in Allsage. The first one was Casters, and then the Vault, which has recently gone under some work again.
Yeah. It's looking good, that is.
Looks amazing.
Yeah.
They probably, it's one of the nicest looking
yeah.
restaurants around here, if I'm honest.
I agree.
And I'm not
So,
just saying that you got to go and see the service, the food,
Yeah.
the decor.
Or just drive past it. And
Yeah, and just from the
you can
outside when you see it,
now.
amazing. So he's put the time in, he's put hours in, he's put a lot of hard work in, and then as well as that, he does a lot with charity again.
Yes.
A lot of people,
Running.
one common denominator I'd like to think is all the people that so far we mentioned have
Yeah.
come in. They've all
charitable.
played a part in charity, like Mark and yourself for that matter, with the Coliseum Gym. Was a knife crime prevention.
Yeah. We've still got the.
And you still do it
We've
and
still got the bin.
get them collected regularly, the knives. Yeah, the police come and so on. Or the guy from One Bomb comes, takes them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with Chris. Obviously, he mentioned a few things in the background. He didn't really want to highlight stuff what he does. Yeah, because he just sort of is that kind of character, isn't he?
Well, I do remember a few years back. This is before I started, so we're going about 8 years, probably 9 years. They did have like a 24-hour like a rollathon. So where
Raising money.
there's someone on the mat. sparring
continuously keeps
for
going.
24 hours, and
Yeah.
whoever comes in chucks money. And so I know he's been part of that.
Yeah, and he keeps doing things like that on and
I know
off
he's
here and
part
there.
of reorg, which is like something to do with people who've left the army with injuries or something, and they're now doing jiu-jitsu.
Oh, okay. It's probably to get him back into something.
I don't know the exact gist of it, but I know it's like a charity.
Yeah.
And they're doing a lot of big things. Tom Hardy's a big ambassador.
I was
for
going to say, is that the same reorg I'm thinking of to do with
Yes.
Tom Hardy and the gis and the kits and
so
stuff?
recently,
Okay.
obviously, people have seen that Tom Hardy is now smashing people at blue belt.
Yeah, he had a fight not long ago, didn't he? A
Yeah.
couple of weeks ago.
So
He lost
this
that,
is
didn't
Tom
he,
Hardy,
though?
the actor we're talking about.
Venom.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try. Venom. There you go.
So yeah, he's got a lot to do with reorg. Always,
Yeah, he's always in that kit, isn't he?
promoting and supporting. So I think that's a big boost for reorg, and obviously Chris is part of that as well.
He's like an
we are-
ambassador, isn't he,
Yeah,
basically?
we all are technically, but Chris is the face from
Face from your gym, yeah.
our gym. And then you got reorg's massive now. You got people in America like Tom DeBlas. They really pushing it out. So
It's
they're
a good
doing-
cause, that's why they're getting
Yeah,
the
yeah.
faces, aren't they?
They're doing a
Otherwise,
really good
people
job of
like
it.
it, Tom Hardy's or Chris, whoever, wants to know what the system is, why they're doing it, they'd pull away. But no,
Yes.
it's got to be a positive cause, which is why
Exactly.
they
It's
put their
growing.
name to it.
it's growing all the time. So yeah, again, they're all like obviously we've got.
And
a
then
few to go.
obviously you got Ranj again and CB charity. We know they do a lot with charity.
Yeah.
Windmill Amateur Boxing Club are always, whatever they do is always linked to a charity.
Yeah.
And throughout the year, I can vouch for this, the club is always involved, always, with something, some disasters, some charity or some cause somewhere, irrelevant to colour or creed. The boxing club is always involved with some charity. They're always doing something, not just on fights. I'm not talking on we'll donate X percentage. They actually do. They're always involved in charity work throughout the year. They're doing stuff and helping people because it is a very community-based gym. I've been there obviously ample times and so on. I've seen the setup. It's a full-on community gym.
Yeah.
So yeah, same again. They charity orientated. Same, and obviously it was Brad we were talking about. Again, charity because he runs for Mind.
Mind, yes.
And he's got
Mental health.
a race coming up, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was
That's-
saying he's preparing.
He's preparing for
So
a
I'm
race.
guessing
he's
it's soon. I don't know the
very
exact
soon.
date.
Yeah, I think in fact it might even be the Potteries half marathon because
Potter's off.
Potter's off.
Potter's
Yeah, I
off.
don't want to say it like that, but yeah, Potter's
Potter's off.
off. Yeah, I think it might be in that. But yeah, he's competing though, isn't he? And
Yeah,
he's training
from
at the
what he was
moment.
saying,
He was
so
saying
he's
he's training at the moment.
So good luck to him on that. As
Good
well.
luck on that, 100%. Yeah,
Marathons are hard. It's not easy.
it's gonna be tough.
Boring.
But it's the cause, isn't it? What he's
Yeah,
doing
it
it
is the
for,
cause.
so that's what matters. And then
I guess the funniest one.
the funniest one, yeah,
If you've
it's
seen it-
gotta be, yeah.
If you've seen it, you
And
can't
if
stop
you haven't,
laughing.
you got to.
Yeah.
You can't not watch this.
Matt
Wiggins.
aka Darth Vader. Darth is a move in jiu-jitsu, so
Yeah,
he loves
Darth
it.
Vader.
We call him Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Um,
But again, another entrepreneur.
yeah,
He came to Stoke from Lincoln, was it? Lincolnshire, where he wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it
he's
was.
originally from Nottingham, I think.
But he
then he had
went
Lincoln,
with them
yeah,
guys, didn't he? When he
work-wise,
set up,
yeah.
sort of when he, got into business, if you like. He went in business with these two other guys, was it, I think?
Yes.
They got a house because they wanted to train dogs and he wanted to do that. And then, I think it was a week, within 7 days, it fell apart,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
idea. But like he said, we didn't really put much thought into it. We just
Yeah.
kind of, three lads got together and said, right, you know what, we're going to train dogs and this is what we're going to do. But again, with him, look, they fell out. So he got his share. He got, 12 dogs, a transit van and
Yeah.
$3 grand.
$3,000, yeah.
Yeah. And so from Lincoln, he Googled, find a property all the way in Coach Seat in
Coach,
Stafford.
yeah.
So that's a few hundred miles away, packed his bags, turned up for a viewing. He didn't even have the house. He just put the dogs in the van and drove from Lincoln.
It's not just that, like, his story's always funny.
Yeah, all his stories are
All his
entertaining.
stories, like, you could listen to him all day.
But yeah, so
like,
from that, and then he got the house and so on, and you need to watch the rest of the episode to understand.
yeah.
But like today, that was only like 8 to 10 years ago, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't a long time
No,
ago.
it wasn't a long time ago. I mean, he's
And
not
the
that
guy's
old, so-
business is worth what now? Something like
couple of mil.
you know what I mean? He says it's nothing hard. He says it's on the podcast. I think something like 4 mil, over 4
Something
mil.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's been valued at.
Yeah.
And
Because
yeah,
of HS2.
yeah,
it's still
but
probably
irrelevant is
undervalued.
the value is still the value. Okay,
Yeah.
HS2, whatever. But look, from what he's took it, $3 grand and 12
Yeah,
dogs,
yeah.
basically. $3 grand and 12 dogs and a van, to where 8 to 10 years later, it's worth over 4 mil.
Yeah.
The businesses, yeah. And then not just that, his next idea, which I can say this because he released it himself on our podcast, we had a lot of firsts as well. A lot of people
Yeah,
gave
a
us
lot
some
of exclusives,
information,
yeah.
exclusives, yeah, which was quite nice of them. But yeah, so now he is in the middle of setting up the platform where what he did years ago was, as he was training dogs, he used to film every dog, didn't he? He's
Yeah,
trained.
yeah.
So now he's got thousands of hours of content, which is actual training videos, and he's now going to basically package them as training manuals,
Yeah.
training videos, which there's nothing wrong with, because that's what he's doing. He's showing people how
Yeah.
he's trained these dogs, and now depending on what they want to show the dogs and train.
No, Matt's always thinking about the next thing. what
Yeah, I
am I
know
gonna do,
he's
what am I gonna do?
he done a deal that day on the way here. Remember?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So in that respect, look from where he was to where he went, and even moving forward, then irrelevant to what HS2's done, he could have sat back and thought, right, that's a nice
Yeah, yeah.
payday. And a lot of people probably think 4 million. I probably won't spend that for the rest of my life. I'm done. But no, for him, the hunger before we started, obviously the podcast, like when we were talking with him, the hunger's there. He's like, right.
I mean, he's
next
enjoying
thing.
himself at the moment. I think he's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
on bloody 4 holidays
Yeah,
in the
4
last 4
holidays.
weeks.
Yeah, but he's like, the next thing though.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
in, I ain't got
He's
time
ready.
to waste. I'm ready.
He's enjoying
like,
himself.
That's happening. Whatever's happening with that. I know the dog's finished thing, the training side, but right, the next thing is I'm going to set this out online and roll it out.
Yeah, I
and
think he's back in training this week, so that means he's going to probably start on his
start
next
something
adventure.
next
as well,
adventure. Yeah, so he's kind of got that out of his way, and
Yeah.
so he should, because he's worked hard, obviously.
yeah.
So why shouldn't he
Chill out a
splash out? Enjoys money. That's his hard in money. So why shouldn't he? And yeah, so now he's got his head back on. He's had his wind out, chill out
Yeah.
time. And that's good. And yeah, and you know what? I like him, man. I wish him all the best. I like
Yeah.
Matt. I genuinely like Matt. I like his attitude. I like his character. You know what I mean? He's a cool geezer.
He is a
I
cool
like
geezer.
him. But yeah, so yeah, Matt was probably the most entertaining, let's
Yeah,
say.
it's funny. It was
Funniest,
funny.
yeah.
It was funny.
Few bleepers as well, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Oh, it's
I
definitely
gave
the-
up after a couple of times, just like
It's definitely the
Carry
most
on.
with the most expletives in there. Like, I mean, when I was editing the first 1 or 2, we were like, look, we're gonna beep this. And
shall
then
we? Then it's
I
like
got to a stage where, you know what, we're gonna be here all night beeping him. So yeah, if you're into
putting bleepers in.
swears
Yeah,
and rude words,
if you
then
don't mind a bit of explicit language, then
18 plus.
yeah, we did put a disclaimer in,
Yeah.
so you know. But yeah, so Matt's was good. I enjoyed mine. His story it was entertaining, but he was entertained, but his story was good. I enjoyed his story, and it just goes to show, like, look from what he come,
Yeah,
prop dogs, van, $3,000, and look where he's made it to.
100%.
So again, another entrepreneur, Dark, what is it? Dark Vader, no?
Darth
Darth
Vader.
Vader. Darth Vader,
Yeah,
sorry.
Darth Vader is actually Star Wars.
Yeah,
but
Darth Vader.
The
So
movie's called Darth. So we
Darth
call him
Vader,
Darth
yeah.
Vader.
Darth Vader, yeah.
Yeah.
And then another, to be fair, in line with Matt, kept the energy going.
Yeah, yeah. A proper emotional roller coaster that one was.
You know what?
It was like fun, entertaining, then like it went mellow, and then it went fun, entertaining. It was just constantly going up and down. Like
Yeah,
this,
that pulled on a lot of heartstrings, didn't it?
yeah, yeah. And it was probably the longest one we recorded, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Over the 2.
Even he confirmed the big man himself, the one and only, the toughest white man on the planet, as labeled by Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Mike Tyson.
Big Joe Egan. Yeah, his was good as well, and yeah, it pulled on a lot of heartstrings. Family, friends, the life out there,
Yeah.
his boxing, the training with Mike Tyson,
Yeah.
the shootings he was involved with, amongst his other colourful, past. Everybody's got a past, haven't they? But obviously, he left that behind, though.
Yeah.
That's what counts. And utmost gentleman, anybody who's ever met Joe, obviously, I know Joe. I've known Joe a very long time. Yeah, anybody you'll meet, you won't find a guy who's got a bad word to say about Joe.
No, and his boxing knowledge is amazing as well. Like when we were talking off camera and we were just talking about boxing and fights, I thought I knew boxing, but he was like, he knew everything. I was
Yeah.
like, he's a proper
Again,
ambassador for boxing, positive ambassador.
I think that's where, when he trained with Mike,
Yeah.
because Mike studied boxing, didn't
Yeah,
he?
that's
The
another thing
science
people
of
don't
boxing.
understand.
Yeah, this was why
Mike
Mike's so
Tyson
good. It's not just because he can
is
fight.
so
He studied
knowledgeable.
the science of boxing. Yeah.
Not just boxing, warriors. Like if you listen to him, he will talk to you about great warriors in the past.
Yeah, yeah.
People like Alexander the Great and all these other different big warriors in their
That he
time.
read. So he studied fighting.
Yeah, he
He didn't
studied
just
warfare.
learn. Yeah, he didn't learn to
Warfare.
fight. He studied warfare,
Yeah.
which is why he is as good as he is
Who he
to
was
this
at the end of the day,
Yeah. and still feared to this day. To be fair, come on, let's
Yeah.
be honest. When he does podcasts, you know, if the room he wants it quiet, everybody goes quiet.
Yeah, well,
We've seen
that
some
guy on the plane found out, didn't he? When
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
annoying him.
So, you know, but yeah, no, it's same with Joe, like humblest guy, you know, and he knows them all. Trust me, he knows the good, bad, and the ugly. Yeah, he knows everybody, you know, in his line of work. He has to, because like he said, boxing is that kind of world where you meet different
Yeah,
type
you
of
could be
people.
sitting to
A solicitor on one end,
Yeah.
and probably the biggest outlaw or whatever you want to call him, gangster or whatever it might be on
one
the other side.
It's like, okay.
But that's just the way it rolls.
That's the crowd it attracts.
That's the crowd it attracts.
Similar to MMA, it's just the crowd in this
Mixture.
combat world.
Yeah.
It's just a mixture of people.
But he is well known though amongst a lot of people. But yeah, again, his story, and then with his mom, Tyson coming to his house several times visiting. His own story to do with his life and, you know, the things he's had to endure, and like when he went training and what happened at home with his family and the home and the if you like, the council and the bailiffs. Remember,
Again, he's another example of someone who never gave up. Like
100%.
you know, all of these guys, they've never given up. Like they've had obstacles, they've had failures, they've overcome it all, and it doesn't matter what it is, they're still moving forward. They found a way to move forward. You know what I mean? Like Joe, obviously with his boxing, he had an accident, he had to stop. Then he's gone into acting and doing speeches, and he went into the pub trade as well.
Yes,
you know,
yeah.
so he didn't give up. He
And
knew.
don't forget security, and he's still in security.
Yeah,
He's always kept his hand in
yeah.
security. To be fair,
So it's one of them, like, these people don't stop, and that's one trait that they've all got, is like they're always moving forward.
keep going. Yeah,
If something drops them or hits them, they back up,
yeah.
cracking on with it.
Coming to our last episode, which was our special episode,
Yes,
with the
Kobe Foundation.
Kobe Foundation. Yeah, Marie and Emily.
Yeah,
And also, you know, that was a hard episode.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie.
that was a very sad.
Sad, emotional. Yeah, nice in its own way. What's come out of it,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
for those who, in short, who haven't seen it, please go watch it. But you know, they had a tragic event, didn't they, in their life,
Yeah.
and then they sort of went out there, set up a foundation, a charity in a third world country, bear in mind.
Yeah.
So it has no personal link to them in any way. Yeah, went to a third world country, set up a charity, set up a foundation, helped kids, rehomed so many kids. Because of them, the things that got highlighted within the systems of Ghana, because that's where they did this, it was something like 43, 44 orphanages got shut down because of
Yes.
them, because what they highlighted. So now that is not a little thing
No,
for the government to step in and shut down 40 plus
it was international
orphanages.
news. So
International news, that is. And again, they've been here, nobody's seen them before, heard them, or whatever, because again, they're very humble people. They
Yeah.
support their foundation themselves.
Yeah.
They do. They don't really go around asking people for anything. And you know, on our podcast, we had to push them to ask people for
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
And we were saying they don't really ask people for anything. They just kind of pray, because I know she's a Christian, you know, and I know, and she's just like, Nadia, whenever we become stuck, we just pray, and
Yeah.
obviously her husband Roger as well, we should mention him. She goes, me and Roger just pray, and it works out, you know, and I think that's beautiful, to be fair,
100%.
you know, because ultimately, you know, there is a higher power. I'm not going to get into that, it's a different topic,
Oh,
but,
yeah.
you know, and she's a Christian, and yeah, she's like, Naj, because I said to her sometimes when you come stuck, she's like, Naj, we just prayed. That's all we've done, and just it'll work out. A couple of days, week later, 2 weeks, it's
Don't open
worked
that
out.
kind of worms, mate.
Yeah.
Something can't come from nothing.
But that was but that was nice, and the fact that, you know, they look after kids from, they got in that orphanage, I think it's two Muslim ladies
Yes.
that work with them or work for the Kobe Foundation, and they've got kids in there from all sorts of different Christians, Muslims, Jews. Like she said, they're all welcome. We don't care. It doesn't matter to us, and that was beautiful the way she even said it. You know, the passion she said it in, you could just tell. But again, same with it, kind of reminds me a bit like Ranj. Didn't really want to promote what they do indirectly, as in just like, yeah, we do it,
Yeah.
because we're supposed to do
Hidden
it.
away,
It's
like-
a good thing to do. You should do it. It's another beautiful thing.
I think if we were to say how charity should be done, that is
That is
one
a
of the best
pure example
examples
of how charity is done, and not just because we know it from the outside. Before we called Marie here, let's just say we done our due diligence as well, and we checked things out in the background. Because again, with the greatest respect to whoever, we're not going to call somebody here and then find out, well, it doesn't quite work like that. Because we all know how charities work, don't we? Let's be honest now, So to which we didn't want to call somebody where then we realise we're promoting them.
Yeah.
We're asking our guests for things as well, and we're donating things, and then we find out
It's fake.
it's not quite like that, and things come out in expenses and consultancies. So,
I want £10,000 an hour, brother. I'm telling you.
yeah. But you know what they say, charity starts at home. So, yeah. Season 2 is exciting and promising, and we'll see where we go from here with this.
No dates or anything like that.
Just watch the socials, like you said.
We've got a lot of stuff going on ourselves. I'm getting ready for competition as well, so we'll see.
And you're away Amsterdam as well, aren't you, in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, so Amsterdam, and then might have a few other camps here and there. So yeah,
you got some people competing as well.
Yeah,
that
we've
been
got
coaching.
our own little team now.
You got your team,
from both Stafford and Shelton and Stoke. So yeah, we got a few lads want to compete. So
you got your hands full, haven't you? Pretty busy, yeah.
Push them a bit. Busy times. So we'll see. We'll keep you updated.
On that note, guys.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Till the next time.